So, welcome to another week of Market Outlook with the Traders Guild. We're going to be going over a little bit of what's going on last week because today is July 9th. So, last week was NFP. This week coming up is CPI. And so, we're going to be diving into that. My name is Maverick, and I'm definitely excited to see what we got coming on. So, let's dive into it. And as usual, all content on this channel is for educational and general information purposes only. So no matter who you watching or who you learning from, make sure you do your own research. But let's go ahead and dive into what we got going on this week, right? And if you're watching this market outlook and you're new, you have no idea what's going on, I'm gonna put the link in the description. Go ahead and check out our market prep workshop, 4-day workshop, where you can go ahead and learn the basics to trading in any market, specifically because we trade indices and forex, definitely that. But these concepts work in any market, right? So you can go ahead and click the link and get access to that. It is completely free. It's on us. I got you. But with that being said, let's go ahead and look at what's going on this week for those of you guys who's a little bit more acquainted. Now, first and foremost, as we know, last week, let's go over that real quick. Last week was NFP, which means non-farm payroll. And we had an interesting things going on last week. And not only was it non-farm payroll, it was also July 4th. So I think I have the wrong week selected here. Yeah, we got to go to the next week. Right? It was also July 4th. So last week was a holiday. Oh, yeah, here it is. So from the 3rd to the 9th, let's check out what our numbers were. So 4th of July NFP, I guess we could call it, right? First week of July NFP. We were projected to see numbers come out at we were projected to see numbers come out at 225,000 as far as jobs go, right? As far as people on payroll, not including the farms, new jobs or lost jobs. Last number was at 306,000. They were projected to come out at 225, actually came out at 209. So kind of shows a little bit of slowdown in the labor market. Previous numbers on unemployment was 3.7. And then this time we saw unemployment come out at 3.6, which was just about projected, right? So unemployment's going down. Didn't have as many new jobs as were anticipated, but that might be a good thing, right? Because again, we're looking to lower the inflation. So it wasn't nothing too surprising last week. I will say that. But coming into this week, we're paying attention to our CPI numbers, right? We're paying attention to our CPI numbers. Are we acting weird? No, we're not acting weird. Y'all can see me. All right, so we're paying attention to our CPI numbers for this week. CPI drops on Wednesday. So that's going to be Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. I do not trade CPI. I do not trade NFP, and I don't trade FOMC, right? So that means that CPI at least going to wait until 45 minutes after the bell. Not 45, sorry, 8:45, because it drops at 8:30. So 8:45, 8:40, right? Around that time. Again, I like to use the phrase wait for the dead bodies, right? Wait for the bodies to drop. And then I'm gonna go ahead and come into the market. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm gonna show you why when I get onto the charts in a second, right? So yeah, today on Sunday, my bad guys, I'll mute that. Right. So today on Sunday, we had a little bit of news drop. Tomorrow we don't have any high impact news, but we do have some medium impact news, some FOMC speakers speaking, some members. No Jerome speaking. And if you don't know who Jerome is, right, it's Jerome Powell, the president of the Federal Monetary Committee for the United States, pretty much who determines our interest rates. So those guys are going to be speaking. That's going to throw the markets around a little bit, but I like to wait until Tuesday just so that I can allow the market to kind of show its hand, make its move. So that's Tuesday. On Monday, Tuesday, we're not gonna have any high impact news New York session until about noon, right? So we will see like some light GBP news at 7:15. Potentially, maybe that'll show us something, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the markets really just wait around for CPI to make a true low of the week or high of the week or whatever it is that we're looking for. We do have German CPI Tuesday at 2 p.m. So maybe that'll affect Euro USD. Maybe potentially if we see what we want to see going into Monday, and I'll drop a recording on that too. But going into Tuesday, coming out of Monday, if we see um, London setting up the way that we want to, or Euro setting up the way we want to, maybe we could anticipate something going on for that 2 a.m. session. But for the most part, I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, it's looking Wednesday is looking the sweetest. We do have New Zealand interest rates on Tuesday night, so that's interesting, right? NZD USD might get some attention this week. But the biggest thing for me is this Wednesday action, right? Because we're gonna have that 8:30 a.m. news on New York, on CPI for the U.S. dollar, and we're also gonna have 10 a.m. CAD is gonna be releasing their interest rates, and I'm looking forward to that, right? Because we are looking for continued bullishness on USD so both of those on Wednesday might act as, I mean, USD has already been going crazy without a lot of news and action and stuff like that, like crazy news going on. So I'm definitely interested in seeing what it is that we can have going on going into Wednesday with this CAD news dropping at 10 a.m. and with that CPI at 8:30. So yeah, we gonna be looking forward to Wednesday's action, Wednesday's price action. Um, and so yeah, other than that, I mean, pretty chill week. Thursday we'll have PPI drop in during New York session between that 7 and 10 right here. Okay, GDP for GBP this week. So I think I'm gonna take a look. I'm gonna look at USD CAD for sure. Already did. Take a look at GU for sure. And NAS because of that energy outlook. I like the way that NAS usually responds when they come out with this energy outlook. And in the last week we've had Meta have a new release on their Threads app, right? Which has everybody again talking amazingly about Meta, buying into Meta, and this is just continued good news for NASDAQ 100, right? For the tech companies, also for US 30, for the Dow Industrial. A lot of people really getting excited and continue to invest in these things. And y'all know how I feel about reading the room. So I actually plan to release a video for the Traders Guild this week, or in on the YouTube channel this week. Reading the room, right? Yeah, on the YouTube channel this week, going over stocks, right? We're gonna talk about that. I've been talking about it for a while now, and I'm gonna continue to talk about it, man. Like, yo, if you in them things, I'm happy for you. Glad you made your money. Take profits, right? Take profits. Skim something off the top, but please do not see all this good news going on, and just be, especially if you're a short term trader. Okay, if you're in it for the long haul, then by all means hold, right? Do your thing, right? Long-term investments are definitely for what the price is going to be in the long term. It's for investing in the market, not necessarily timing the market, and that's how you make money long term. But if you are somebody that's looking to get in and out, you looking to take advantage of your money when it's in the best position, then yeah, you probably don't think that it's going to go just a little bit further and then you're going to get to take profit. It's probably not going. It's not going to go the way that you want to. That's how you get greedy. So that's what we got coming up this week. Like I said, eyes on Wednesday. Of course, PPI on Thursday, so that should be something sweet. And then going into Friday, I mean, honestly, it's just a bunch of BS on Friday. I don't even want to trade this Friday, just to be honest. I don't like any of this stuff. So let's go ahead and get over to Trading View. All right, let's go ahead and get over to Trading View, see what it's looking like. All right, so if we go ahead and take a look at the dollar, clearly I already have some things mapped out here on the dollar. And if I go out to my weekly time frame, all right, and I'm gonna put this to the side for right now. All right, if I go into my weekly time frame, you can identify that the market in May, we traded up to this high in May, right? Traded up to this high. This was our last bullish move, right? We were bullish for about 3 weeks. All of May, pretty much, we were bullish, right? They gave us the low of the May the first week. After that, bullish engulfing candle came down, touched the high of that order block. Bullish engulfing candle came down and then gave us a high here. And then for the next 3 weeks, we went ahead and engulfed that, right? Continuous down candles went ahead and engulfed this last move. And so this here is where I want to pay attention to, right? There's like this is a place that I would expect the market to have some type of reaction from. And you can definitely see that last week and the week before as well, we traded back up into that weekly order block, traded away from it. Last week, we traded back up into it, took the high of the previous week with this NFP week. We took the high of the previous week on dollar. And then also, that was in our premium, right? That was in a 60-day premium, right? So in the last 2 months, that was above the 50% of the price action over the last 2 months, right? So when things are on a premium, they came up into that area, came up into that order block, rejected away from it. I found that to be okay, cool. That was interesting. So after that, after seeing them trade into this weekly order block, I would be expecting to see them deliver this somewhere on the daily, right? Somewhere enticing on the daily. And when I come down to my daily time frame, we had this low right here from the last week of June, which we would identify as our daily sell side liquidity. And we literally last week they came up to that premium, traded straight down to that low of June 27th and stopped on a dime, right? That's where we closed, right? So the market opened here, traded just below that low, came up, closed, all right? And then if I go just a little bit lower on the 4 hour time frame, right inside of that or inside of that low, we have I mean, yeah, it's an order block, but we have this fair value gap and they traded right into it and traded away. So I'm paying attention to this, right? Because all of these things are also in that discount, right? So all of this that we traded up to is premium, right? But it was 50% of the last 60 days, these were the highs of the last month or so. And they literally took all of that and dropped down 50%, like literally way over 50%. I mean, uh, this is almost a over the last 30 days, this is a 70% discount on price over the last 30 days. So we're in a 70% discount. And then over the last 60 days, it's clearly a discount. And on top of that, we're trading into discount premium levels, right? Discount levels. We're trading into discount key levels, I'm sorry, right? Discount key levels, such as this 4 hour fair value gap and this daily sell side liquidity. All right. So I definitely see potential bullishness on dollar. And I mean, I've continued to talk about seeing potential bullishness on dollar, but I'm just based off of the technicalities that I just explained, I'm definitely feeling like we're in position for it to play out, right? And so it's just a matter of identifying, okay, where is that next place that we could potentially trade to? And if I pull up one more time though, that DXY chart, these highs that we formed last week catch my attention for sure, seeing them go ahead and take those highs. But at the minimum, I'm paying attention to this. Let me go to the 4 hour on the other chart. That'll make it easier for me. Right. All right. So this sell off that happened last week, right? This sell off right here that played out on Friday, that sell-off was set up. And when I say set up, I mean to get to this sell, right? The market was pushed higher here, right? So that would have been the perfect place for a sell, all right? And so what you see is that the market came up and then sold off, and that pull up, it began right here, right? So that's a key level, right? That's a key level that I'm paying attention to, the area where that push up before the sell happened. Um, so I'm paying attention to that. Also, of course, known as our mitigation level, breaker block. I'm gonna pay attention to that. All right. So at minimum, seeing them pull back and see how we reject here, right? How price action is looking going into that. But ideally, because I'm looking to see bullish price action, I want to see them really come up past that. Right? That's really what I want to see them. I'm expecting to see some struggle here, but I want to see just straight devastation of that level is what I would like to see if we're going to continue to trade higher. So that's the key level that I'm paying attention to on dollar, and just paying attention to this 4 hour time frame. Um, if I go to UCAD, right, and let's go over to UCAD. No, don't open. Don't do that. All right. All right. If I go over to UCAD, I think I got UCAD all marked up crazy already too. Yeah. All right. So if I go over to UCAD, we could actually look at this UCAD chart. Let me wipe it. All right. So if I go over to UCAD, right, we already had identified um, that UCAD, if we just look at the last few months or so, December, all this, right? We had already identified UCAD traded below liquidity in these levels, right? We already identified that. So from here, I'm looking to see UCAD go bullish. I've already, went over this. We traded down into this, higher time frame, daily and weekly fair value gap, right? So we're looking to see continued bullishness, especially up into at least this, fair value gap sitting up here on, right? And so that catches my attention, right? That fair value gap, seeing price come up to that is what I've been paying attention to. Now we've seen them trade up above liquidity levels here, drop back down, but it looks like they're on a mission, right? It does look like they're on a mission. And if I go down to the 4 hour time frame, we're starting to see something else set up that we noticed right before we saw this bullish move in the first place, which we called to a T. I think that was like 2 or 3 market outlooks ago. You could watch the recordings. All right. But at the end of the day, we got a bullish trend right now, higher lows on UCAD, right? So this was the low of June right here. Markets came up, gave us a higher high, came down, gave us a higher low again here in July, came up, gave us a higher high, came down, gave us a higher low in last Friday, right? But if I pull up the twin, right, it's supposed to be moving synonymous with the dollar. And if I pull up the dollar and we look at the dollar on a 4 hour as well, well, the thing is that from this low over here, oh, is that even further back? Well, let's see. All right, from that same place, which would be here, right? You can see down here, this is June 6th on this chart, and then on June 26th on the 27th on this chart, and then on this chart up here is June 27th, 26th right here, right? That's where that low is. And on USDCAD, we're seeing boom, higher highs and higher lows, right? On US dollar, we should be seeing the same thing. We should be seeing higher lows because they should be correlating and going the same direction, right? But what we're seeing instead of higher lows on dollars, we're seeing them actually give us a lower low, right? We're actually seeing them trade below that low from June 27th, right? And so if the dollar is trading below this low from June 27th, we should be seeing USD CAD trade below the low from June 27th as well, but it's not. Right. So what that's kind of showing me is that's showing me that, the big banks, right, big money is operating in the markets, right? It's showing that there is a underlying and I guess you would say like manipulated, right? But there is a desire, right? There is a willingness for price to continue going higher on USCAD, even though the dollar is showing us that they're sweeping the lows here. So, really, more so, what this is showing me is that this right here is just a rate on liquidity, right? They're just sweeping the lows, like I identified on the higher time frame chart on DXY. That's all we're seeing here. This is just a rate on these lows of liquidity, but overall, the market is still showing me that they want to continue higher. All right, especially when we're seeing that USD has been dropping for this long. This is kind of just giving me more confirmation that UCAD actually might want to continue trading higher, right? So that's kind of how I'm seeing this setup right now between the US dollar and USD and so me pulling up the lower time frame on UCAD. Let me see who's in the chart. Yeah, that's an example of some of divergence, smart money divergence, similar to what we identified, when the markets were down here, right? We were seeing dollar giving us higher highs while UCAD wasn't giving us, I mean, higher lows, I'm sorry, while UCAD wasn't giving us those higher lows, or maybe it was the other way around, right? If I do my run back on these lows right here, I think it was right here. Boom. Oh, it's not gonna let me rewind. Hold on. Yeah, right here. Boom. And then if I do it over here as well, get to that Sunday, right? So no, you already rewinded the way I needed you to. All right, cool. So similar action right here, where if I go down my 4 hour, let's bring this back over here. So boom. This was that Friday. Let me see. I might have to hit the recording. Okay, right here. So boom, USDCAD was giving us right here. USDCAD was giving us a lower low right here. And on top of that, USDCAD was in a key level on a higher time frame. And the US dollar was giving us no, I'm not finding it right now. Maybe I was on the 1 hour. Let's see. See if I was on the 1 hour. Yeah, it's hard doing it on two double charts, but regardless, they was diverging. This is what I got for you. You feel me? They was diverging. Let me see if we play it forward a little bit. It'll help. So yeah, this is Sunday when we was on Market Outlook. Let's see what about this chart. Boom. And so boom, if we go ahead and pull up, yeah, here we go. Yeah, I just had to fast forward a little bit. So yeah, US dollar here was giving us higher lows, while USD CAD was giving us lower lows, which was showing us that this here was just a sweep on liquidity, right? And moving forward, we saw USD CAD go ahead and play out, take those lows down here, and then show the willingness to trade higher, even though, the dollar was doing the same thing. USD CAD just hadn't caught up. You feel me? Whew, that was like a lot of work. This is a lot of work with these two charts going on, but I hope you get what I'm putting down. You feel me? So similar thing going on right now, except in reverse, but either way, same concept. You feel me? USD, US dollar is in key levels, right? We're seeing the US dollar in that 4 hour fair value gap, daily sell side liquidity. We're in a discount on the US dollar. They're sweeping that liquidity while USD CAD is showing us that we're trading higher highs and higher lows after seeing this manipulation lower back down into this previous, what would probably be a breaker block on a higher time frame, right? Or order block, right? Area right here. Bang. Right. So I'm paying attention to see how UCAD trades back into this week is basically the whole guise of what I got going on with USD CAD. That's what I'm paying attention to. Expecting to see her give a drop, let's say after midnight of today. I mean, well, I guess tomorrow, whatever, uh after New York session open. So if I see USD CAD giving us a strong push down going into Monday, even Tuesday, because Wednesday is when we have CPI. That's when we have the interest rates for CAD. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them open up the week bearish. You feel me? Show me some bearishness. And then after that bearishness comes in, go ahead and see them sweep those lows and then give me that sharp move higher. Right. So that's the price action that I'm looking to pay attention to and see on USD CAD. And as far as targets go, like I said, I'm paying attention to this fair value gap up here, looking to see price deliver to rebalancing in this, because that's just like price was only offered on the downside here. There was no point, except of course in the past where price offered the buy side liquidity. So it's like we have boom, there were some lows there, and they clearly traded through those lows. And then the market came back, offered buy, left that buy side liquidity, but we never traded back into it. Feel me? We never traded back into it. All right. So the sell side was offered here and they delivered it. And then the buy side was offered here and then they never delivered it. Right. So it's an imbalance right here. Right. So that's kind of that fair value range that I'll be looking for, even if the market is going to fall off. Right. I want to see a bullish USD CAD, but even if they are going to sell off, I would like to see them trade back up to that level before even giving that sell off. Right. So if I'm to pay attention to just premium and discount ranges, today is July 9th. So 30 days ago was around that June 9th area. So in the last 20 days or so, we're in right, yeah, down below these levels would be a discount of those last 20 days. Definitely would be a good area to see some potential buys from. And if I'm to go back 2 months or so, which would have been what, May 9th, May 9th. Yeah. So yeah, from May 9th down to where we already in a discount of the last 2 months. And so this is some of the best prices that USD CAD has seen in the last 2 months. We're getting down to some of the best prices we've seen for buyers in the last 20 days. So I definitely will be paying attention to that. So that's what I'm paying attention to this week on UCAD. And if I go down to the hour, let's see, I'm not gonna go no lower than the hour today. And then I'm gonna pull up GU. Yeah, if I'm to go down to the hour, mm, nah, nothing sexy. We'll just see what the hour look like once we trade down into these levels, like I said. But on the 4 hour, I think that the place to pay attention to will be down inside potentially what this fair value gap right here, this gap in price. Right? See how they treat that. But the interesting thing is they actually already dived deep into that right here with this little wick from Wednesday of last week, 9 a.m. on Wednesday of last week. They already traded down into that and then flew off. Right. So maybe not that fair value gap. Maybe I'll pay attention more so to this order block down here. See how we respond with that. Um, at that level. But I think the most important thing about this is going to be timing in these levels, potentially even the low from 4th of July. Mm-hmm. All right, even that low from 4th of July is where I would be paying attention to. And what was the low of last week? Yeah, and that low of 4th of July was the low of last week as well. So let's put that on here. All right. So yeah, potentially seeing them trade below that low of last week as well. That's also going to be below the monthly open. So that'll be a crispy area. Got any strong? Yeah. So that's what I'll be paying attention to. Now, other than that, Her Majesty GU. Let's take a look at GU. I have not been touching GU. I mean, I have not, and I don't feel no type of way. USDCAD has been taking care of the kid, and NAS. I did take some NAS trades last week. Let's go ahead and see what GU's talking about. Haven't looked at her in a while, so I'm gonna pull up the higher time frames. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, you see it. Okay, cool. You heard? Let's see. So monthly on GU. Let's go back some, shall we? So GU, I don't even have to put no fibs on this. I can see that GU's in a premium. These are the highest prices that GU has offered in the last, clearly in the last month. Very clearly in the last month. In the last 2 months. And in the last 3 months. I don't even need to do all that, right? So that's very obvious that GU has been on a tear to the upside. And that's nice for GU. As EU also, what's crazy is that actually don't go with the mantra. That don't go with the mantra of what's going on right now. And nobody told GU US dollar was trading higher. Nobody must have told GU that the US dollar was trading higher. Let's see. Dollar low key been consolidating a little bit, so that's why GU been loose to go do whatever she want to do. So yeah, I see some interesting areas here on this chart. For one, I could see we just traded up into this weekly fair value gap for sure. That's one thing that catches my eye. But just above that also catches my eye is this imbalance here where there's nothing but wicks that got traded into. It's a key level, and pay attention to that. Right. But the reason I haven't traded GU is because I expect bearishness. I'm gonna just be real. We're in premium areas, so I really would prefer to take sell opportunities. So I just been leaving GU alone. I'm just gonna be honest until she start to act right. Now, like I said, we saw her just trade up into this weekly fair value gap. Of course, as soon as she hit that fair value gap, we saw them sell off, drop. But I would say I would expect a shift going into this quarter. We're in a new quarter now. It's July 9th. So that means a new quarter started 9 days ago. They've been bullish for, literally the last 2 quarters in a row. January was consolidation. The second quarter of the year, we saw expansion. I wouldn't be surprised to give that retracement or potentially reversal here off of this level, which lines up with my dollar bias. So I haven't been forcing nothing with GU unless they're gonna give me what I want, and I'm looking for sales. That's what I'm looking to see come into the market. So I'm gonna take into note. A couple things. This was the high of last month. We just traded above right here. I promise you, I'm gonna buy a new MacBook tomorrow to keep playing with me. Last month's high. Last month's high. Right there. and um, and that is last week's high as well, because last week we literally traded right up to that on Friday, traded above last month's high. So I'll pay attention to that. But you know what? This is a weekly fair value gap we're trading into, and if you ask me, I think there's some buyers located up here. It looked like some folks will actually they'd actually start buying because the market is going up above this level. Because again, GU's been bullish AF all year. They're breaking the highs of last month. They're breaking the highs of last week. Looks like it's a lot of buy side liquidity sitting up above that level right there. So I'm gonna pay attention to that for sure. Um, Let me pull up that fib again real quick. It's July 9th. So let me go back to like June. We'll go back. We'll say June 12th right here. All right. So as of right now, you're seeing price in this nice premium traded up above this buy side liquidity. Let's see. So yeah, if I see after the markets open up, which is gonna be midnight right here, I want to see the opposite of UCAD. If I don't, now I'm just going to leave GU alone. Simple as that, right? But I want to see some type of, consolidation accumulation right here. I want to see a sharp move higher up into this level, and then I want to see some type of displacement lower. If I see that, then I know what's going on, right? So we're in a key level. Market's been bullish AF. We just came into a new quarter. I definitely want to see some sort of accumulation, manipulate higher, sweep these buy side liquidity up here. And then once I see that distribution lower, probably on this time frame right here as well, hourly, 4 hour. Once I see them come in like that out of this area, that'll give me what I'm looking for to look for the sells. So that's kind of what I would want to see if we're going to see this week be bearish. If not, maybe just consolidation this week and look for that move next week. But given how much high impact news there is this week, like we went over, there's a lot of GBP news this week. We got GBP news on Tuesday. We got GBP news on Thursday. We got CPI on Wednesday. I could think of no better time for them to go ahead and manipulate the markets and come into this thing and look for those trades lower, right? So that's kind of what I'm seeing when it comes to GU, and targeting. I mean, this is the low of July so far right here. So that's the open of the month. Let's go ahead and just identify the open of the month. All right, cool. So this was the open of July. All right, monthly open. Yeah, so if this is gonna play out, I would expect to take profits down, in this level right here, below the monthly opens coming into that. So that's what I'm looking for on GU. Again, if I don't see it, I'm not really interested in buys on GU. I'd prefer to trade something else if they're not gonna sell. So that's kind of what I'm looking at when it comes to GU. What else did I say? UCAD, GU. Nasdaq was sweet last week. She was cool. Yeah, Nasdaq was cool. Um, Still looking to see her reverse. I am looking to see a reversal action go down with Nas. I mean, again, similar to GU, we are in damn near all-time highs. We're in super premium levels. Um, as you can see, I was going crazy on my chart last week looking at this thing, but even now, still Nasdaq is in these premium levels. I think I didn't get the sell here. I wanted the sells up here, but that was on Friday, and I had to get ready for my flight on Saturday because I'm actually in Georgia in Georgia right now. So I actually took buys from down here on USDCAD, not down from here. I think it was on Thursday. It was Thursday that I took buys. So right here, I took this opportunity up into this fair value gap. As you can see, they traded back down here. That would have been another opportunity on Friday. But the reason I took the opportunity was because, again, I seen the markets trade down into this discount. If you're paying attention to this, red is premium, blue is discount. we seen the market trade down into that discount, given engulfing right here. I looked for the opportunity right there, out of the discount into the premium. And my target was the kill zone because I wanted the sell opportunity. They came up to the sell opportunity, sold off from the sell opportunity, literally called NAS to the T, right? So I'm not in a rush to keep playing with her. Not in a oh stop it. Not in a rush to keep playing with her, but let's wipe this, shall we? Dang, I did not mean to do that. Yeah, so let's wipe this real quick. Again, last 60 days or so. First we'll go last 20 days. NAS definitely in a premium over the last 20 days. I mean, from this is our high of the last 20 days, and this thing there is our low about the last month or so, right? Because I mean, you can't trade weekends, so I'm not gonna count the weekends. So it's pretty much about 20 days makes a month. Um, mm, 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 mm. And so yeah, I mean, as of right now, we are in a premium, and I'm again still just looking for the market to trade down back into this 50% level. They already hit it once and rejected away. Crazy. So now they came back higher. They traded up. They swept the buy side liquidity just a bit. I mean, if they wanted to, they could really come all the way up to this. That would really just get people going crazy. That would really get people going crazy if NASDAQ really just started going for these highs again. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them take that one more time, but we've already seen them come up into the body and into the wicks. That might be all that they needed right here, and I'll confirm as I go on a lower time frame. But we've seen them already trade back up into these wicks, respected, gave us displacement lower, right? So now I just want to see them start breaking past the levels like this, like break past this order block, right? I would love to see them break past that. If I see them break past that, I don't see any other opportunity. Then seeing them break past that and retest that would be smooth, right? Seeing them break past it, now this becomes kind of more of like a premium breaker, which now makes it ideal for a sell. You get what I'm saying? So ideally seeing them break through that and then come back up to it like this. And then what's my target going to be? Well, I think this is probably the most obvious target since any chart that we've looked at. And that's still it's imbalance down here. That gap, right? Price is always looking to either rebalance or deliver to liquidity. And right now, that's the most imbalanced price action on this chart right here. You feel me? So looking to see them trade to that level. From there, boom, something like this. Save that one for the books. Yeah, we'll save that one, see what's going on with her. Yeah, this is crazy. Let's go down to the 4 hour, see what is inside of all of this. Yeah, so we already saw NASDAQ trade back down up into this. You can call it a breaker, you can call it an order block, whatever the case is. It's really both, right? Because it was an engulfing higher, then it got engulfed lower. So it's really both. But they traded right back up into it, respected it, and then we saw the sell off showing me displacement, man. And I keep telling y'all, man, like I'm just so many people are so hype over all these tech companies, AI, Meta, Apple, that it's gonna be crazy when these joints drop. But again, um, same thing for this week. As you see, for the past like 3 weeks, it's really been choppy. Of course, it's NAS, so you're always going to be able to find opportunities in this, right? This was like one of the best opportunities to buy from down here. Then they traded higher, came back down into this level. And then, this again was a nice buy opportunity here. If you could have saw it on the lower time frames for a short-term trader, there wasn't really nothing there. Just paying attention to it. This was the best opportunity for a short-term or, a swing trader, right? But day trader, scalpers, so many opportunities that could have been identified in here. Next opportunity for a short-term trader, once they came up, swept this buy side liquidity right here, came into these wicks over here, and then gave again another opportunity. Gave a drop, came back up, and that 7 a.m. 7 a.m. New York session, you saw them start to respect it, right? I'm pretty sure on a lower time frame, on the hourly time frame, we'll find some order blocks, some opportunities to get into this market and target, here, or even be in the trade still, targeting these lows down here. So yeah, as far as NASDAQ goes, I am looking for them to show potential sell, more sellers opportunities. And ideally, I would, like I said, want to see them break past this. And once I see them break past that, get an opportunity back up into that level. That would be ideal on NASDAQ. So we'll see what goes down. We'll see what goes down. Like on an hourly time frame, just looking at it, out of last week's price action, because this was last week. If I put my, cursor right here, Monday, midnight last week, right? That was last week, Monday. This right here is the high last week. This right here is the lower last week, right? Go ahead and run my fib from the high to the low of last week, right? As of right now, we in a discount of last week's price action. So for them to go ahead and trade lower, maybe we see them pull up into the 50%, above that 50% of last week, maybe into this breaker here, right? We see them give us a little bit of a push up coming into Monday, see them trade higher, get everybody excited, maybe even into this order block right here, maybe even as high as that if they don't respect it. But yeah, that's the type of time that I'll be paying attention to with NASDAQ. Right? See them trade up, something like this. And then drop, take that low from last week and then see how it goes from there. Like I said, once they break through that, then I want to see them respect this breaker on that higher time frame and see if we can go ahead and get them starting to move towards that gap, man. Because that gap has been sitting there for almost a month now. There's a lot of like liquidity built up above that gap, and there's a lot of just above that imbalance, right? So boom, got sell side liquidity here. It's a lot of sell side liquidity building up, and I'm gonna show y'all, right? Let me delete these order blocks, clean this up a little bit for you guys. All right, so boom, we got sell side liquidity here built up. Got sell side liquidity here, also damn near equal lows. Boom. We got sell side liquidity built up here. Boom. And I'm gonna do it even better, right? I'm gonna make it thicker, and we're gonna make them blue. We're gonna make them red. Yeah, we're gonna make them red 2 times. We're gonna make them red 2 times, red 2 times, red. That's a lot of lows that have not been taken, is it not? While we're sitting in premium, right? While sellers are very interested in this market right now, damn near at all-time highs, sitting above this gap. That's a lot of sell side liquidity, man. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying. So shout out to all the scalpers that made this possible, right? But as a short-term trader, I would love to see them go ahead and liquidate all of that. Give me one of those once a week trades, once a month trades, right? That would be smooth. So that's what I'm seeing on NASDAQ. And like I said about everything else, I don't know. I could be wrong, right? But if I'm right, that's what pays me, right? The times that I am right is what pays me. So that's what I'm seeing on NASDAQ. And just in reverse, right? To kind of give you an idea of what I'm putting down. Like We in all these premium price action, this whole box premium the last month, right? Look, we had a high here, high got ran, right? We had a high here, high got ran, a high here, high got ran, we had a high here, high got ran. We had a high here, high got ran. We had a high here, high got ran, right? A whole bunch of sell side liquidity that's been left and a whole bunch of highs that's been swept, right? So I'm just saying, man, just sometimes just my favorite phrase helps me see the market better, and that's reading the room. I think a lot of people get ICT concepts messed up and institutional concepts messed up because for some reason everybody thinks that it's really just about being able to see the order blocks, being able to see the fair value gaps, being able to see the liquidity, right, and all about the technical stuff. But the most important part of institutional concepts is thinking the way that big money is thinking, being able to understand that there's two different types of parties that are trading. There's informed money and there's uninformed money. And when you identify these order blocks, fair value gaps, liquidity, all these different things, that's good. Like that's good that you identify them. But you also have to be able to identify, okay, well, where is uninformed money going to be? Because uninformed money is the liquidity, right? The market is going to deliver to or from liquidity, right? So once you're able to identify where the people who are uninformed, where's their money at, that's where you're going to get the most return on investment when it comes to institutional concept. And at the end of the day, like I said, when you read the room, right? When you read the room, you look at all the uninformed people, right? All the people who are really just and all these Instagram gurus advice, YouTube gurus advice, just buying and buying and buying, whether they're trading NAS, whether they're trading options, and most importantly, the people who are like investing in these companies long term, right? There's a lot of people who bought into the Nasdaq, into NAS, right here, Monday, June 12th, right, and they're in profit right now. There's a lot of people who bought here, right, on June 26th, and they're in profit right now. A lot of people who bought Meta right here, June 29th. And they in profit right now. That Threads just dropped, right? A lot of people who bought last week when Threads dropped, okay, right? Last Thursday when Threads dropped, and guess what? Boom, did great things for the markets overall. And guess what? There's a whole bunch of uninformed money, right? A whole bunch of people, right, whose money and stop losses, and they're not going to be able to handle it when they go into drawdown, that are sitting right here. And they're going to be willing to sell their positions as long as the market comes there. So the market going to want to deliver to these levels so that the big money can be buyers at these stop losses, right? Or at these entries, at these, uninformed liquidity pools, right? And that's what's going on. So that's my take on NASDAQ. NASDAQ is one of my favorite pairs to trade and one of my favorite pairs to analyze, just because, when we trade currencies and stuff like that, I mean, of course, we know everybody's using currencies, but it's very easy to read the room when it comes to looking at, these companies and these stocks and indexes, because we can literally get on Instagram and see what everybody thinks. I can literally get on Instagram and see what everybody's thinking, right? So I've realized for myself personally, like scalping is cool. I can make money scalping, but I'm a business owner. So scalping takes up a lot of time. It takes up a lot of emotional investment, and it's just not my, like, I'm more profitable as a short term trader, as somebody who reads the room, right? Reads how people's emotions are operating over the last month, the last 2 months, the last 3 months, and just positioning myself for the most high probability and best scenarios that are going to put those people, I mean, unfortunately, right, jeopardy. Okay, because 95% of people lose money when they trade, right? You have no idea what I said today. If you have no idea what I was talking about, right? If you did not follow along with anything, but you watched this whole entire video, click the link in the description to get access to the market prep workshop, and kind of go over these things on a broad term basis. And if you're an entrepreneur or a business owner such as myself, you don't have time to be on these charts all of the time, you still want to be able to trade maybe 5 to 10 hours out of your week. All right. I also added a fifth day, bonus day, where I go over the Cavalier model, right? Where I explain how you can actually spend 5, maybe even 10 hours out of your week and find one setup or two good setups one trade or two trades that'll actually make you a return on your investment, right? Just like things that we went over today. You feel me? So you can click that link in the description, go ahead and get access. I'm going to be releasing a lot more content this week. I'm a little bit more situated, and we'll be right back here with Market Outlook next Sunday at 8 p.m. All right. I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys then. Have a great rest of your day, and be safe on these charts because they don't want you to win. No cap.